Welcome to the lesson 1 of module 3 of our grant writing course. This module 3 is about design your idea like a pro. And in this lesson 1, we're going to be looking at from passion to project. So if you're new here, this channel we are treating grant writing, and this is a complete course. And in that, we've come to the module 3 of this complete course on grant writing for beginners. All right, so we're going to be talking about something powerful in this lesson, which is your passion. So, that deep desire inside you to do something meaningful. Maybe you've said within yourself, like, I want to help girls stay in school. Maybe you've said that within yourself, or you've said within yourself, I want to fight youth unemployment. Or you've also looked within yourself and said, I want to end hunger in my community. Now, all of these are part of what you might have thoughts about. You want to do something regarding a particular problem that you've already had in mind. So, if any of these things, if it sounds familiar, yes, that is the fuel behind every great idea, the passion behind it, the zeal that you want to bring about change in that particular situation in this world. Now, but here's the truth. Here's the truth. Funders don't just fund passion, they fund projects. Funders don't fund passion, they fund projects. That is just something that you should know. Let me put it here. Let me put it here so that you will see what I'm talking about. Funders don't fund passion, don't fund passion. So they fund projects. So this is very, very important. So this is what funders fund, not your passion, right? So we're going to be looking at how you can turn that your passion to a project. And that is the major thing we'll be looking at in this module. And this lesson is about from your passion to a project. So in this lesson, like I mentioned, we're going to learn how to turn this raw passion into a structured, fundable project, something a funder can read, understand, and say, yes, this makes sense. Let's support it. Right. So let's start from looking at a 5 step into turning your passion into a fundable project. The first thing is passion, and yeah, is clarify the problem. So let's start with our example. So let me put an example here. Let's say our example is you have the thoughts or you have it in your mind that I want to help guys. Yes. So this is a very typical example. So let's say you have this in mind as something you want to do. You have it in your mind that okay, you want to do this. Now, that is a very great intention, but it's too broad. Now, this idea is a very broad. Okay, is a very broad topic. Okay, you want to help girls. There are a lot of things that goes with it. Now, the question that comes here is, okay, you want to help girls. How? Girls where? Right? Now, if you are just saying that you want to help girls, this is not clarified. This is not very specific enough. Girls, how do you want to help them? Where are these girls that you want to help? Right? What challenges are they facing? So there are a lot of things that goes with this particular I want to help girls. In order for you to clarify your problem, you must be able to put in the required details that ensure your passion becomes a project and becomes very clear regarding what you want to do. So we ask questions to go deeper in this particular query that I want to help guys. So one of the questions that we can ask is, are they dropping out of school, for example? Are they experiencing period poverty? Are they not safe online? Are they excluded from tech training? Or a lot of things like that. Okay, you want to help guys in Lagos, you want to help guys or underserved guys in India, or you want to help guys. Like, where are these guys? Like, how do you want to help them? Do you want to give them a unique skill? Just like this particular training, like I work with young ladies like yourself that you are seeing this. So it's a way. This is part of what we are talking about. That okay, I want to help guys between this particular age range have the skill of grant writing. So I think that is very clear, very clear. Now each of these is a very different problem. Now I'm going to type in the question so that each of us can be able to. Oops. So I want to help guys know we are asking question. Are they dropping out of school? A lot of other are they experiencing period poverty? A lot of things like that. So all of these questions are what will help you to go deeper into clarifying the problem that you want to solve, right? Not just the vague that okay, I want to help guys, right? So each of these is a very different problem and each will require a different project. Now, if that the guys that you want to help, if they are dropping out of school, is different from if they are experiencing period poverty, and it is also different from are they not safe online. So all of these are very different from each other. I mean, if this is what you want to do, if they are dropping out of school, if they are not safe online, if they are experiencing this period poverty, so all of these are different and unique problem of their own. So any of which that you want to solve require some deep planning out for them specifically. So let's move on. So let's say we focus on okay, let me put it here. Let's say we focus on many girls in rural Kaduna State drop out of secondary school due to lack of sanitary pads and menstrual hygiene support. So let's say our problem statement is many girls. Now I have to start with typing this in because I want you to understand the thought process and I want you to see how we are doing it, right? So by typing it in so that you can be able to follow along and it will not just be a copy to the page and all that. So I'm just trying to, ideate with you and see so that we can be able to be on the same page. Many girls in Kaduna State for example, drop out of secondary school, I mean, due to lack of sanitary pad pads and menstrual hygiene support. All right. So if this is our problem, that means that we have a very clear problem. So by the way, Kaduna is a state in Nigeria. So now we have moved beyond. I want to help guys to before we are talking about clarify the problem and we have moved beyond. I want to help guys to defining exactly the type of guys that we want to help and exactly this one. Now it's very clear, like many guys in rural Kaduna State drop out of secondary school due to lack of sanitary pads and menstrual hygiene support. This is very clear, it's very specific, and is very straightforward. Anyone that can be able to look at this and understand exactly the problem you are trying to solve. And as we are talking, this problem is as a result of your passion. You have the passion to work with girls, you have the passion to see that girls are supported and they are taken care of. And then it comes to a project, right? And the project is okay, having understand this problem, we are going to go forward in that. So the step two is to define the goal. So once we have the problem, we move to the goal. So the goal is the big picture that the change that we want to see. So the goal now is the big picture and is the change that we want to see. For example, we can say improve school attendance among rural girls through access to menstrual hygiene solutions. For example, if we take on this problem and our goal can be improve school attendance. We are saying that they are dropping out. Let me copy our problem. This problem we are looking at as a result of practice. Okay, now if this is the problem, so we can have a goal that that is improve school attendance among rural girls through access to menstrual hygiene solutions. Because if we bring our solution to these schools or to these girls, we now see that girls in Kaduna State will not be dropping out of school again. Their attendance will be increased and they will be able to pay attention to whatever they are being taught in school, right? So that is what goal is all about, the change that you want to see. So this goal that we just mentioned now, let me put it here. Let me put it here. Improve school attendance among rural girls through access to extra hygiene solution. So this is the goal that by the time we implement our solution, we will have that result. So this is a very clear goal and a very fundable goal. If we are telling funder that our goal is to help improve the school attendance in Kaduna State, right, in rural Kaduna State, through access of menstrual hygiene solutions and that. So this is a very clear and fundable goal. So it connects the problem. The problem is dropout, the issue of dropout, with a cause, and the cause is lack of menstrual support and set a direction for change. So let's look at step three. Step three is build build objectives from the goal. So in this step three, we are going to go ahead to build objective from the goal that we have set. So your goal is the vision, your objective are the steps to get there. Now let's go back to the goal here. I'm going to copy the problem and the goal so that we always have them in the next thing we are working on. And what I've said so far regarding objective is that your goal is the vision, something you want to see come to life, right? But your objectives are the step. How will you achieve this goal? Now, the goal of this project that we are planning or we are working on is to improve school attendance among rural girls through access to menstrual hygiene solutions. So how are we going to achieve this particular goal, this vision that we have? How are we going to achieve it? That is what objective is all about. Think of objectives as smaller wins, right? Think about it as small piece, a smaller wins that lead up to the big one. So example of the objective that we can craft out from this can be let's say we have objective, let's say objective one. Our objective can be okay, let's say we want to train 20 female hygiene ambassadors in the target school. You get what I'm saying? So this objective one. Objective two in the target school. So you can have several objectives that will lead you to the goal that you want to achieve. Objective two is distribute reusable sanitary kits sanitary kits to 500 girls. So these are objectives. Now it's now becoming clearer how we want to achieve our goal, right? Because that is exactly what objective is all about. I can go on to add as many as possible objectives that at the end of the day, if all the objectives are fulfilled, our main goal will be fulfilled immediately. So as you are fulfilling the objective of your goal, you will just begin to see that the goal, the vision you have will begin to come to life. So that just how to plan all of these things from the problem to the vision you have for it. And then we come to the objective one by one. And you can have more objective. Another objective that we can have here, let me put this, should be objective two. Another one is old school based workshops on menstrual hygiene and stigma. That is objective three. And the fourth objective is monitor school attendance monthly for impact tracking, because that is what we want to bring to life. That is what we want to address. We want the number of girls attending school to increase by solving this particular problem. So we have to be monitoring that, and we have objective three, and also we have objective four, just like I've mentioned, which is in the monitoring. Now, notice how each objective is specific. All the objectives that I've mentioned, and even the one that I've typed out, they are very specific, they are measurable. Train 20 female hygiene ambassadors in target school. This is very specific. This is very measurable, and it is doable, actionable. So we can go to the school and hold a seminar with them, train 20 of them, so that those 20 can go further to train others in the particular school. Right? They are all the objectives that are mentioned are specific, are measurable, and are also actionable. So let's go to step four in turning this passion to a project. So which is list the key activities. So let me go ahead and okay, let me go ahead and copy this so that we can see it in the next one, and it will make sense. It will make sense. All right. All right, so the next thing we are looking at, we have mentioned, is list key activities. Now that we have defined the problem, we've had a goal, we've listed out our objectives. So the next thing we are going to be looking at is break objectives into activities. Activities. Now, activities are what your project actually does, right? Activities are what your product, what it actually does. Those are the activities. For example, in the objective one, we say we want to train 20 hygiene ambassadors in the target school. Now, where the activities, objective activities is let me type this thing out so that we can see what we are looking at. Now, we are going to take only objective one, objective activities, which is train 20 hygiene ambassadors. Okay, train 20 hygiene ambassadors in the target group. Now, the activities in this objective. Now, each of these objective we have their activity. So, activity one is, first we are going to identify the school. Identify partner schools. We're going to identify the school. That is activity one. Activity two is we're going to select 20 student leaders and 5 teachers that will be part of the program, right? Select 20 student leaders and 5 teachers. So these are activities like, okay, what we are going to be doing on day to day basis of the goal of of the project, right? Now this project have a timeline. We are going to get to it, and it also has a budget, right? So now because of that, if we are having an objective and we are having an activity, it will make it to be very clear what exactly are we going to be doing and how much will each of these work, how much will they cost, right? So that is the reason why it should be broken down. Now this objective activity, which is train 20 hygiene ambassadors, which is objective one, has its own activities. And then objective two we also have its own activities. Objective three we also have its own activities. Objective four we also have its own activities. So this is a lot of planning. Remember, in module two we've established that grant writing is 80% of planning and just 20% of writing. So all of these things that we are still doing now, we are still planning regarding the project where we've turned the project we've turned a passion to a project, and we are planning out how this thing is going to be. Like I mentioned, the work of you as a grant writer is a work of a planner, is a work of someone that manage project, that create project, feasible projects, and then you create it, you manage it. If you are having funding, you ensure that things are going the way they ought to go, and then they are well managed. So another thing we can do in this activity, let's say we have activity three, is activity three is develop training manual for the 20 ambassadors. And then activity three is to conduct three, activity four rather is to conduct 3-day training workshop. And activity four is to provide starter kits and logbooks for them. So you see how this thing has been broken down. First, we have a problem that we define. Now we have a goal, which is the vision that we want to bring to life, and we have objective for this goal, of how this goal can be achieved. And then in this objective, we also begin to break it down into pieces. Now we have taken objective one and broken it down to this: identify school, select the 20 student leaders and 5 teachers. Activity three is to develop training manual. Activity four is to conduct 3-day training workshop. Activity five is to provide starter kits and logbooks for those that we have trained in that. Then we also move to objective two, and then it will also have its own activities. So your ability to process all of this information, create activities for them, we convince funders that, oh, this person or this organization knows exactly what they are talking about. So it's starting to look like a real project now, right? So this is exactly what a real project is. We have the problem the project is going to solve. We have our vision. We have our objective. Now this objective is not having activities that will be done in each of the objectives, right? So now let's move to step five, which is add timeline and budget thinking. So timeline and budget thinking. Now that you know what you do, ask when, how long, what will it cost, right? So what I'm going to do is let's copy this again for perspective purposes. Okay, this video is getting long, but it should, because we have to really get how to plan this thing out. and I really want to show you the step-by-step process of how you can actually do that. Okay. All right. So now that we know exactly what we want to do, the question we are going to be asking next is, when will this happen, or how long will it take, and what will it cost? Even if your proposal does not require a full budget yet, you need to start thinking in numbers. How much will training cost, right? In this part of the objective, we say we're going to train them, for example. So how much will this training cost? And what is the price of each hygiene kit? Objective 5, we say we want to give them hygiene kit. What is the cost of it? Which is we say we are going to be giving them reusable kit, right? So how much will each of those things cost? How many are we giving them? Do you need transport? Do you need printing or airtime to call them, to follow? All of these things, everything that have to do with money, have to be part of the cost. Everything that have to deal with money, right, have to be part, including the money for transport, for data, for airtime, for follow up. Everything must be documented when you are trying to plan a project and you are trying to see funders to fund the particular project. So a rough budget will help you to stay realistic and focused. So for all of this now, like I've given an idea of what to do about budgeting, but in the course we are still going to do budgeting as a module on its own. So just follow on, right? But giving you the foundation right now, giving you the foundation that oh, this should not be here, it should be here. Giving you the foundation. The foundation is that uh there's nothing you want to do away from budgeting and timeline. So projects are having this type of project are having a short lifespan. Maybe it's something that is going to last for 3 months, or something that is going to like last for 6 months, or whatever time frame that you have in mind for the project to last for. So now let's put everything together that we have learned so far in this lesson. So far in this lesson, we've looked at I want to help girls in my community. We've been able to break it down to we aim to improve school attendance of 500 girls in rural communities in Kaduna State by addressing menstrual hygiene challenges. So this will be done through the training of female hygiene ambassadors, the distribution of reusable kits, and monthly impact tracking over a 6 month period. So that is the transformation. So that is what a real project is all about. Now, as you are going through this particular lesson, I want you to put your own project, use a project in mind, because the more you do these things, the more it becomes a part of you. Use your own project in mind and take it through the process. And then at the end of the day, you can be able to see what I'm talking about. You can gain the clarity of what you exactly you want to do. And this type of clarity is exactly what funders want to see. So it's the transformation from I want to help guys to I want to help guys in Kaduna stay in school by providing them with kits and training and all of those things. So that is from passion to a real life project. So we're rounding up now. A bonus point is keep your why. Just because we are structuring your idea does not mean losing your story. No, not at all. In fact, your personal connection can make your proposal stand out. Yeah, like especially if you are from that place, or if you have suffered that type of problem before in life, right? In fact, like I mentioned, yeah, personal connection is what will make proposal to stand out. You can say something growing up in Kaduna, like I'm saying it because if you are from that place, if you are from an underserved community, if you have experienced the problem before, in fact, that is very, very good because you can be able to tell the story from your perspective, from someone that has experienced the problem he or she is trying to solve. You can say something like, growing up in Kaduna, I watched my cousin miss school every month due to lack of parts. So this project is my response to that. Just something like that. Or if you experience it yourself as a person. So funders want to connect with a real human being and know that stories plus structure will give success. Yeah. So far, we've come to the end of lesson one of our module three, and you have an activity. And the activity is think about something you are deeply passionate about, and then use the following prompt to structure it into a project, right? I'm going to put it here. Use the following prompts to solve that. Number one, okay, number one is what specific, so this is how you are going to do the assignment. This, what specific problem are you addressing? Just like we have done in this lesson that we've map out everything, right? So when you do this assignment, I will be able to review it, and then from there you can do another one, and you just become more better and better at doing it. What's your goal, right? We covered this also. Number three, these are think about your projects and then answer it in this format. What are your 2 to 3 key objectives? Okay. Okay. Number four. What are some sample activities? Remember how we have done this. If you have any question, you can just ask. And yeah, number five. How long would the project last, and who would benefit? All right, awesome. So you're going to think about something you are deeply passionate about, and then you are going to use this following prompt to turn it into a project. You answer this on a Google Doc, and you do it as an assignment. So yes, and then you do that and you submit it. We are going to review it together. Seriously, I'm going to review every of the assignment and give you feedback on how to better improve on it, so that you can be able to do it again and still improve again and still improve before you submit your project to funders. All right, so turning your passion into a project is not just about changing who you are, it's about learning how to tell your story in a way that funders understand, respect, and also support. Right, the best grant writers are translators, they speak the language of the people and the language of funding. So in our next lesson, we're going to go deeper into the elements of fundable idea, including timelines and logics, and how to keep your proposal tight, powerful, and focused. So until then, keep dreaming big and keep structuring. This is sponsored by Grand Database. I'm Oluwole, sharing you on from passion to project. Ensure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, and give it a thumbs up. Ask your question in the comment. If you are part of my training group, ensure you drop the question on our WhatsApp. So thank you so much. See you in lesson 2.